Hello everyone, am I audible? Hi, good evening everyone. Am I audible? राघव सारे टॉपिक्स ऑफ कोर्स कवर नहीं होंगे, बट हाँ हम कुछ टॉपिक्स को के क्वेश्चन ज़रूर करेंगे यहाँ पे. ग्रेट. गुड इवनिंग एवरीवन. So, ready? How many of you are not a part of iQuanta? I'm asking because probably because you haven't seen me teaching, so you're not very much connected to me. I'll keep a moderate pace. It won't be fast, it won't be slow, but I won't go very slow over here. Moreover, the questions that we'll be doing, basically I won't be teaching you algebra. We'll be solving some questions, and based on the questions only we'll be discussing concepts. All right. Am I visible? Yeah, the video will automatically be available after any live stream. It happens that it is available. That is the functionality of YouTube. So today we'll be doing algebra. I'll just show you the entire schedule that we are going to follow over here. Pre-CAT crash course. Today it's Quant. Tomorrow we'll be having LrDi at the same time. Day after will be VARC, and then we'll be having Quant. And 30th we'll be having both LrDi and VARC in two separate classes. All right. Great. Today's topic is algebra, as it is visible on the screen as well. Algebra by me. My name all of you might be knowing already. So this is something which I wrote because I love algebra like anything. Sometimes I feel that algebra is God. So I say algebra is nothing but the purest thoughts of unknown. Unknown, when I say unknown, I mean that the things which are unknown, we in algebra just assume it to be equal to x, right? Anything which is unknown is basically a variable and we assume it to be x. Purest, the thoughts which are primitive at the very same time pure, primitively pure. So those are the thoughts of the purest thoughts of unknown. That is algebra for me, and I believe if anybody understood this quotation, you can just share in the comments that what did you get after reading this equation, this quotation. All right. So before we continue with the class, I want to show you an graphic, a GIF, and just go through it. Look at the graphic for 2 minutes. This introduction to graphs. That is the best way to actually revise the graphs. It's like someone who is a mathematical freak or you can say a nerd is basically dancing and his hands are imitating the graphs of the equations of the functions. The brightness is reduced, isn't it? I think it's reduced now. मानसी, स्क्रैच से हम सारे कॉन्सेप्ट्स नहीं करेंगे, बट वील बी डूइंग ऑल सॉर्ट्स ऑफ क्वेश्चंस विच प्रोबेबली विल बी आस्क्ड इन कैट. Alright, so look at this GIF and enjoy. So as you can see, y is equal to x. That's a function which his hands are straight. This is y is equal to x. When it's minus x, just look at this. Different kinds of function are there, and sine and cos make you Michael Jackson or Hrithik Roshan probably. X square plus y square equal to r square is the graphical representation of, algebraic representation of a circle. When there is modulus, then automatically negative part becomes positive, so this part goes away and it just transforms, it just moves towards positive in the same slope. All right. So I hope you guys have understood all the graphs. Lakshita, concepts will be not taught from the scratch. We'll be doing questions, and based on the questions we'll be discussing some concepts which are actually applicable over here. So let us go to the first question. The question says that how many points do the graphs of y is equal to 1 by x and y is equal to x square minus 4 intersect each other? That's a theta question. There are no options given, so you will type the answer in the comments. हाँ ओमकार, यहाँ से स्टार्ट कर सकते हो. देखो जो भी चीज़ें होंगी ना, जो भी क्वेश्चन होंगे उसमें कंसेप्ट्स तो मैं बताऊंगा ही ऑफ कोर्स, लेकिन अलजेब्रा का A to Z वैसा नहीं करेंगे क्योंकि एक प्रॉपर एक कोर्स की क्लास नहीं है. बट थ्रू क्वेश्चंस विल बी डिस्कसिंग कंसेप्ट. डोंट वरी अबाउट दैट, जस्ट ट्राई टू सॉल्व द क्वेश्चन. So a lot of people are saying it's 2. कैसे किया आप लोगों ने? I hope the brightness is reduced now a bit. No, Doc, we don't have offline classes. All right. To solve this question, like people can do it by equating the values of y the right hand side and can solve for x, and that is how they can get the values. But here we'll be doing it a very simple graphical approach. So if I try to make a graph like this, we have two functions, y is equal to 1 by x and y is equal to x square minus 4. Y is equal to 1 by x. The graph that will be drawn over here, the shape will be like this. Why? Because if you put x as 1, you will get y also as 1. So this point basically will be 1 at x and 1 at y. So I hope this graph is very much clear to you. And if you try to increase the value of x, let's say you take 2, y will become 1 by 2. If you take x is minus 2, y will become minus 1 by 2, and so on, right? So y is equal to 1 by x will be looking like this, and y is equal to x square minus 4. This is a quadratic expression. This will be basically a parabola. So when y is equal to 0 over here, the value of x will be plus 2 and minus 2, isn't it? So if I draw the graph, it will look like this. This is 2 and this one is minus 2. So now let us try to count the point of intersection. We have point number 1, point number 2 and point number 3. So the answer is 3 points of intersection. How is that? Such a logical approach and very quick. So this question can be solved in 5 to 10 seconds, not more than that. All right. Is that clear, everyone? Yeah, Nancy, you can start the preparation from today also. And that is why we are coming in the last 2 months that we'll be doing brushing up everything with quite a high speed. So this is something which is fantastic, and I just love graphs because we can solve a lot of questions like this. All right. Aditya, just equate x square minus 4 and 1 by x, solve for a cubic equation, you will get three different values. That's it. As it is a crash course, we won't be going in detail. As I said earlier, we are just discussing the best and concise concepts over here. Let us go to the second question. Fx is equal to ax square plus bx plus c, where a, b and c are real numbers and a is not equal to 0, of course. If fx attains its maximum value at x is equal to 2, then what is the sum of the roots of fx is equal to 0? Abhishek, they are not previous year questions. Not all of them. क्षितिज कंफर्म तो कुछ भी नहीं है कैट में, लेकिन हाँ अगर आप जानते हो आ भी सकता है. नथिंग इज सर्टेन इन कैट. और इस concepts, I'm telling you the concepts with every question. Just try to solve the question and try to understand the concept that I am discussing over here. Justin George, not always. In a cubic equation, there's a possibility that all 3 points will be overlapping, or maybe 2 points are overlapping. So that is a possibility. That is why we are not sure if it is a cubic equation we will get exact 3 points. Cool. Try to solve this one. Just be with me. Do not hold your horses. Try to be with me. Try to be in the flow. Try to be in present. Try to solve the questions that I am discussing. If you're not able to solve, just look at the concepts. Do not think about anything else right now. Doc, you can learn some really fabulous concepts and some really interesting questions through the crash course. Well, what's your answer? A lot of people are marking their answers. They are saying -4, some are saying 4. All right. So, I'll discuss the concept also for this question. We have any kind of second degree function, the quadratic function ax square plus bx plus c, as we discussed in the previous question, that it will always form a parabola. There are 2 ways to form the parabola. One is this and the other way is this. So parabola can be of 2 types, upward facing, downward facing. This parabola would be there when a is greater than 0 and this when a is less than 0. So as you can see here, a, what is a? A is the coefficient of x square. So when coefficient of x square is positive, we will get an upward facing parabola, and when the coefficient of x square is negative, we'll get a downward facing parabola. In both these cases, this point is the point of inflection, the point at which the direction of the graph changes. नीचे से ऊपर चलने लगा, यहाँ पे this point is ये ऊपर से नीचे चलने लगा. Is that clear? So these 2 points are kind of similar, but here this point is basically the minima, right, and this point here is the maxima. So the same point can be minima, same point can be maxima, depending on the sign of a. So if a is positive, you will get a minima. If a is negative, you will get a maxima. All right, the point will be always, it will be same. Okay, now I'm telling you the concept. So there are 2 roots, right? This and this are the roots. Similarly, this and this are the roots. Let the roots be alpha and beta. In both the cases, alpha and beta. Now tell me something. This point minima or the maxima, would it be lying exactly between alpha and beta? Is that true? Is it understandable? The graph, the graph is symmetric. Along this axis, graph is symmetric. जो ऐसा है mirror image है. So if I put a mirror over here, this will be a reflection of this. Similarly, this will be acting as a mirror. Is that true? Do you get it? Type yes or no. Is that true? You get it? It will be a mirror image. Graph is symmetric, right? So now can I say that this mirror, let me call it as a mirror, this mirror will be lying exactly between alpha and beta, right? So if this point is alpha, this point is beta, this point will be nothing but alpha plus beta upon 2, the average of alpha and beta. Is that right? Okay, so this is the concept behind the question. Now it says it attains its maximum value at x is equal to 2. So that means alpha plus beta by 2 is equal to 2. Can we say that? Can we say that? But the problem over here is when you add the roots, you'll basically get minus of b upon a. So basically this will be a minus 2. Is that clear, everyone? Is that clear? As you know, this alpha plus sum of roots is minus times coefficient of x upon the coefficient of x square. You will get minus b by a. So alpha plus beta by 2 will be minus 2. That means the value of alpha plus beta, which we have to calculate over here, sum of roots will be nothing but minus 4. This is the entire concept. This is the entire concept. All right. Now, if I want to represent the same thing in terms of a and b, I represent here as alpha and beta. I'm just erasing everything. You should take a screenshot of this, and this is the concept. Okay, so people are asking whether it is the concept or not. I'm taking the concept based on the questions, and now let us generalize this. So if I generalize, the minima or the maxima would always be equal to minus b by 2a. All right, is that clear? And the sum of roots would always be equal to minus b by a. So I can say that the sum of roots is nothing but double of minima or the maxima. Is that clear? Is that clear? Yeah. Nirmalya, a will be negative for maxima, of course. That's what we discussed over here. Nirmalya, I got you. Is that clear? Yeah, the sum is 4. Right. So minus b by 2a is given as 2. That means minus b by a will be equal to 4. The answer is 4. A is the answer, not D. Cool. Nirmalya, sum is minus b by a. Is that clear? Clear to everyone? Or else the crash course will be having questions like this. In the crash course, we'll be starting with some concepts, a revision of concepts for first 15 minutes, and then we'll start with the questions. Got it? Ria, I think you joined late. In the previous slide, we discussed how minima or the maxima is minus b by 2a. Right, Ria? I think you joined late. It's basically the average of the roots. Cool. Be with the flow. Do not ask me questions which were from the previous slide, because that is how the flow will stop. Let us solve this question. The coefficient of a to the power 12, b to the power 8 in the expression of a square plus b raised to power 13 is what? Vivek, yeah, a is negative, of course. Mahi, yes, the crash course will cover all the concepts. Lakshya, in crash course, all the concepts will be taught in a quick-paced manner. Dipanshu, I think that answers your query as well. The question is not showing properly. A square plus b to the power 13, this is the expression, and we have to find the, if you expand this, so we have to find the coefficient of a to the power 12, b to the power 8 in the expansion of this. This is what the question is. पुष्पेंद्र, आपके बैच में टॉपिक नहीं हुआ है, अभी ये होना है, but no problem, this depends on just a simple expansion. But this question is basically, you know, a very logical question. It's less of mathematics, more of logic. Exactly, Gopal, it won't be there in the expansion. Exactly, that is what the question is. So if you look at this, okay, tell me something. Now let's understand this part. So if I write a plus b whole square, the expansion is a square plus 2ab plus b square, right? Everyone knows this. Similarly, if I write a plus b whole cube, the expansion will be a cube plus 3a square b plus 3ab square plus b cube and so on. So what is there to be noticed over here, which a lot of you might have noticed when you were young kids, that the sum of the powers, here it is 2, here it is 1, 1, again the sum is 2, here also it is 2, this is 3, 2 plus 1 is 3, 1 plus 2 is 3 and 3 is 3. So there's one thing to notice, that the sum of the powers in all the elements would always be equal to the power in the original expression. Do you understand this? I'm asking this question to everyone. Do you understand this part? Whatever the power is here, whatever the power is here, the same will be the sum of the powers in all the elements of the expansion, be it any kind of expansion. Understood? A lot of people watching, I need a lot of yeses over there. Profit by the crying. Just enjoy the questions, you know. Just think of this as something, a knowledge which is just flowing to you, and make the best use of it. Just enjoy this. All right. So here we have a to the power 12 and b to the power 8. Here we have a square and b in the original expression. So I'll just write it as, I can write this as a square to the power 6 and b to the power 8, isn't it? So here the sum of powers is 14, but here the original expansion has 13 as the power, and 14 is never possible. So even if you expand this, keep on expanding this, the sum of the powers will always be 13. It can never be less than 13, never be more than 13. That is why this doesn't exist. So coefficient will be 0, right? Pushpendra, you said we have not done this formula, but it's not even required over here. That is the beauty of CAT's questions. Clear? Guys, is this clear? Yeah, Vivek, all will be covered in crash course. So basically there are two ways of doing things. One is that discussing concepts for an hour, then solving the questions. The other is discussing the questions directly, and you know, all the concepts which are there in the question, discussing them. So crash course is designed such a way that in the first 15 minutes, be it any topic, we'll be discussing all the formulae, all the required results, required observations, and once that is over, we'll just start doing best relevant questions. So that is how the crash course is planned. Cool. So I hope all of you have understood this. Crystal clear? Nice. Pushpendra, I think I missed the comment of Pushpendra, but I need the comment again. Pushpendra, is that clear? Coming to the next question. Anshu, are you from I am Cozy Code? Anshu is here to motivate you guys. Yeah, that means that is not an element of the ask expression. Because आज क्रैश कोर्स का इट इज प्री क्रैश कोर्स मतलब आप लोग को क्रैश कोर्स के लिए तैयार करना है, so that you get a hang of what we actually do over here. Okay. And I just came across a comment in which someone says A is negative, which yeah, I said A is negative, and that is the reason that minus B by 2A was actually, you know, the answer was going to be positive because A was negative over there, so that the expression already takes care of that part. All right, I think all the comments are answered. Cool. Because this is, you know, a part of क्रैश कोर्स itself. जैसे एक फिल्म होती है ना, पहले फिल्म का एक इंट्रोडक्शन आता है, then the film starts. So the film has already started. It's the first scene of the film. Okay. Don't worry, you have our back. You just have to worry about these questions and these concepts. And you know what? After the session is over, you will feel that 70% of algebra has already been taken care of just by this one single session. That is how I've designed all the questions based on all the concepts of algebra. 70% will be covered over here only. Of course, not in depth, but you will get the very important ideas of 70% of the algebra. So people are saying 0 is the answer. Cool. 0 is the answer. Well, to solve these kind of questions, now listen to this very clearly. A very common question is we have to find the common roots. This is basically a concept, finding the common roots. So how to find the common roots? What we have to do, basically we will equate. I'll just write in steps. Note it down somewhere. If you guys are making notes, just note it down, the concept behind this. To find the common roots, first of all we need to equate both the equations. We need to equate. All right. That is step number 1. Step number 2, find the roots. So if you equate it, you will get another equation, right? You will get another equation. Once you get the equation, you will solve it, you will get the roots. Of course, you'll get to, for example, if you equate these two, you can see that x cube will be cancelled. So you'll be getting a quadratic equation, you'll be finding the roots, there will be 2 roots. Step 3, which is very important not to be missed. And this step is, whatever roots you have found in step 2, you have to verify whether the roots satisfy the original equations. Is that clear? So first step is equating these two. You will get an equation, a third equation. Solve it, find the roots, and then check whether those roots are satisfying the original equations or not. If it is not satisfying even one equation, it will not be the common root. Clear? Clear? Let's solve it. So if I equate these two, what do I get? X cube minus 3x square plus 2x plus 5. This will be equal to x cube plus x square plus, what is that, 7x plus 6. We have just equated it and as we can see, x cube is getting cancelled, bringing all to one side. This minus 3 goes here, becomes 4x square. This goes there, becomes 5x this becomes plus 1, 4x square plus 5x plus 1 equal to 0. So we have, this was the step 1, this is step 2. In the step 2 we have to find the roots. What will the roots be over here? What would be the roots over here? 1 and 1 by 4, is that right? X will be 1 or 1 by 4, is that right? Clear? Lakshit, yeah, we can speed up, but the problem is a lot of students are not from mathematics background, so you have to be a little more patient. That's okay. So x is either 1 or x is 1 by 4. Is that clear, everyone? Now step 3, we'll have to check whether if I put 1 or 1 by 4 in these two expressions, whether they are satisfying or not. And that will be all. So if I put x as 1, here what I get? 1 minus 3 plus 2 plus 5, this is not satisfying. That is not satisfying at all, right? Right, they are not satisfying. So if you break this, this will be x minus 1 and x minus 1 by 4, that is the factors. These are the factors, we have broken it down. And if you find the roots, as it is equal to 0, so x, just a minute. To find the roots, this will be equal to either minus 1 or minus 1 by 4. So x plus 1 and x plus 1 by 4 are the factors of the given quadratic function, quadratic equation. Minus 1 by 4, both are not satisfying it. That is why there are no common roots. Answer is 0. Is that clear? Anand, ye kya hai? 20, 53,000. What is that? Creamy Bites by Khushi Jain. This video would automatically be available once session is over. Clear? Everyone? See, 1 and 1 by 4 is what I broke down. So basically we got two factors and these are the roots. Is it clear, guys? Just type a yes over there if it's clear and we'll move on to the next question. Cool. Very much clear? Nice. And you learned a new concept today, how to find the number of common roots. That is very much important. Now coming to the next question, find the product of the first 12 terms of the sequence. It's a sequence, not sequences. ये sequence है and you find the product of all the first 12 terms. Or is it difficulty? No problem. So whatever you are getting, even if you get 10% of it, it will be helpful. Jyotiraditya, yeah, as I said, I have repeated this thrice. In fact, concepts will be taught and then questions will be discussed, and of course questions would also be having certain concepts. Okay? Vinny, even if one equation is not getting satisfied, then the answer won't be there. पहला satisfy अगर हो गया, Vinny, that's a nice question actually. पहला satisfy हो गया, then only you will be trying to satisfy the second. एक ने बाद दूसरा करने की जरूरत ही नहीं है. That would be wastage of time, right? Vinny Chitkara, you get that? दोनों होना जरूरी है ना, एक भी नहीं हो तो आगे क्यों हम बढ़ेंगे, टाइम तो हमारे पास कम है. Okay, so answer is 0. There are no common roots in the previous question. Those who missed the answer. Vikas Verma, yeah, we have to do prime factorization over here. This question is a mixture of algebra and numbers. So you can break it down as like 3, we have 3, then we have 6, then we have 12, 24 and so on. It's basically a geometric progression with 2 as the common ratio. So we can write it as 3 into 2 to the power 0, 3 into 2 to the power 1, 3 into 2 to the power 2. Yeah, na? 3 into 1, 3 into 2, 3 into 4, 3 into 8 and so on. And so on. So till the 12th term will be 3 into 2 to the power 11. Is that clear? Because we have 2 from 0 to 11. 12 terms चाहिए तो 0 भी count होगा. 0 to 11 तक हम जाएंगे. Alright. Then arithmetic जो next QA है that will be arithmetic. Now we have to find the product of, so if I try to multiply, the powers will be added. How many 3's do we have? 3, 3, 3, 12 times 3, 3 to the power 12, and 2 की powers में 0 plus 1 plus 2 till 11 will be just adding them all, and once we do that we get 2 to the power 66, and here we get 3 to the power 12. This is a simple question. A is the answer. A very simple question. I hope everybody got it correct. Anuj, you got that wrong. Probably you have done some calculation mistake. थोड़ा brightness और कम करना है. That's not under my control actually. You can just reduce the brightness of your screen. Clear to everyone? I hope that's clear. Now moving on to the next question. This. मोटू पतलू आपका असली नाम क्या पता नहीं, बट आई थिंक आई पोस्टेड अ कमेंट ऑन द फेसबुक एंड आई टोल्ड यू देयर दैट आई विल बी शेयरिंग द सेशन प्लान टुमारो विद ऑल ऑफ यू. ओके, लेट्स ट्राई एंड सॉल्व दिस. अजीब सी क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन है यहाँ पे. Coefficient is itself a sum. Yeah, because we have to merge the ratios. Chandni, how 2 to the power 66? If you add 0 plus 1 plus 2, so basically till 11 you got to add, right? 0 तो count करो ही मत. So 1 to 11 में count करना है. Sum of natural numbers. n into n plus 1 by 2 होता है ना. You put 11 over here. If you put n as 11, you get 11 into 12 divided by 2. That is 66. So that is how you can do it. Clear? This is specifically for Chandni because she is asking a lot of times. Well, how smart some people are. They already they are answering the question. Absolute difference between the two roots of the equation. Okay. It's a quadratic equation. We're getting two roots, of course. In fact, the ratio merging is very simple over here. Here, if you can see, we have B and B, we have 3 and 3, C, 5 and 5, D and D, 11 and 11. So it's very easy. We don't even have to merge the ratios over here. They are already merged. A is to B, C is to D is to E. We'll be getting 1 is to 3 is to 5 is to 11 is to 7. That is what we get over here. So I can assume the value of A to be 1 because whatever I put over here, I put 1k, 3k, so k will be cancelled. Let us put 1, 3 only. So A plus B is 1 plus 3, that is 4x square. C plus D is 5 plus 11, that is 16. So I'll get 16x, right? Plus E. E is 7, I'll get 7 over here, and this will be equal to 0. I have to find the absolute difference between the two roots of the equation. Now, guys, tell me something. Did you try to find out both the roots and then you tried to subtract it, or did something else? How many of you tried to find the different roots and then subtract? What was your approach? Try to find the roots. Sum and products use किया है वो better होगा. Of course, that will be better. Cool. There are two ways to solve this. Once you can find the roots, that is one of the way. The other route, the other ways you can just try to use the formula. Both things can be done over here. Ayush says tukka mara. Okay. Ria says no need of doing that, we can use ratio. Ria has got some new technique over here. Ria, would you mind sharing the technique? Alright, so let the roots be alpha and beta. As it's a quadratic equation, we'll be having two roots. Alpha plus beta is basically minus b upon a. So minus 16 upon 4. We'll get minus 4 over here. That will be value of alpha plus beta. And alpha beta will be equal to c upon a, that is 7 by 4. We need to find the value for alpha minus beta. So I can use one basic identity. Alpha minus beta whole square is equal to alpha plus beta whole square minus 4 alpha beta. Is that right? Is that right? Great. So we can write alpha minus beta is square root of this thing. So alpha plus beta is minus 4, because square will be 16. Minus 4 times this will be 7. So square root of 16 minus 7. And you will get alpha minus beta is plus 3 or minus 3. They want the absolute. They want the absolute difference. मतलब इन्हें mod चाहिए. So mod of plus minus 3 will actually be 3. Is that clear? So if they had not written in the question, if the term absolute was not there, then we would be having two answers. Is that clear? If the absolute term was not given in the question, there would have been two answers. It could be plus 3, it could be minus 3 as well. This thing has to be kept in mind, and that is why a lot of people actually do wrong. And so CAD is, first of all, the first phase is to know all the questions, know all the concepts. Second is do it accurately, and it happens a lot of times that you are good in all the concepts, but you just mark wrong because you miss the words like this, which happens majorly in the case of VA and RC. I think you guys might be aware of that. Next question. Vivek, of course, you can start preparing now. 2 months. Of course, you have to study hard, but yeah, it is possible. Or else in the crash course, in the later sessions. See, right now we are doing algebra, then we'll do arithmetic and some modules of in the pre-CAT crash course. When the crash course properly starts, we'll be having a different session on quadratic, another on inequalities. That is how we'll go. So it's all right. Well, what will be the answer here? I'll just give you a hint, a clue. I can write it as you can see, these are powers of 3, isn't it? Now look at this closely. This is something which is kind of observation based, 21 by 81 and so on till infinity. Wow, they are asking till infinity. Of course, this has to be an infinite series. Now if I look at the denominators, what do I see? I see powers of 3, 9, 27, 81. 9, 27, 81. कितना अच्छा होता अगर हमारे पास यहाँ पे 3 भी होता, तो हम कर देते हैं ना. Let us make it 3. How to do that? I can write 1. 2 is basically 6 by 3. Yes or no? Then we have 11 by 9, 16 by 27, 21 by 81 and so on till infinity. Is that clear? This is 1 by 1. Right? आशीष सीरीज हो जाएगी. आप ध्यान से देखो, विकास ज्योमेट्री पे भी सेशन होगा, सब पे होगा, डोंट वरी. Is that clear? I just manipulated 2 as 6 by 3. Once I have done this, my life becomes really easy. try to solve this one. Come on. I can do one thing over here. What I can do over here? I can write let x is equal to 1 by 3. Can I do that? Any problem here? If I assume x to be equal to 1 by 3, then my expression would turn something like, it will become 1 plus 6x plus 11x square, right, plus 16x cube plus 21x to the power 4 and so on. Is that right? Now this looks like quite familiar. अच्छा, ऐसा तो हमने देखा हुआ है, isn't it? Is that clear, everyone? I have assumed 1 by 3 to be equal to x. I hope this is clear till here. I am just going to erase everything. That is clear. Now, the next step, as it was 1 plus 6x plus 11x square plus 16x cube plus 21x to the power 4 till infinity, and always remember, do not forget that what was x? X was basically 1 by 3, right? Just type yes if it is clear to you. I am assuming this to be, so basically I have to find this value of sum. Let sum be s. S मान लेते हैं. I'll put s over here, and this is what the expression is. Now, if I multiply both the sides by x, what do I get? I get xs over here, and here I get x मल्टीप्लाई सब में हो जाएगा, तो 1 से मल्टीप्लाई हुआ x बन गया x, 6x से मल्टीप्लाई हो गया तो बन गया 6x स्क्वायर. इज दैट राइट? 11x स्क्वायर से बन गया 11x क्यूब एंड सो ऑन. आई होप दिस इज क्लियर टू एवरीवन. 16. Is that clear? Is that clear? Because I didn't get your comment. Your way to speech voice is insane. What do you mean by that? Insane? No, I didn't get you. Okay, so these are two things we have obtained. Let this be question number 1. Let this be question number 2. If I subtract 2 from 1, what do I get? S minus xs is what I get in the left hand side. The right hand side, if you can see, wow, how beautiful this looks. So 1 के नीचे कुछ भी नहीं है, 1 बन गया. 6x minus x will be 5x, right? So the elements with the same kind of the same degree of variable, I'll just write 5x, and then we'll be having 11 में 6 गया, with 5x square, then we have 5x cube, and so on, so forth, so good. Clear? ये 4 है, just rectify that. Okay, this is clear to everyone. Now I can take s common. I'll be getting 1 minus x on the left hand side. Right hand side, I can write 1. I can take, I can take some more things common over here. So I can take 5x common, and I'll be remaining with what? 1 plus x square and so on till infinity. This is an infinite GP. This is an infinite GP, and the sum of an infinite GP is given by this formula. In case you don't know this, note this down. Sum of infinite GP is a upon 1 minus r, where a is the first term, and r is the common ratio. All right, common ratio. So if you want to solve this question, this becomes very simple now. I get s times 1 minus x is equal to 1 plus 5x. The bracket is basically infinite GP, so the first term over here is 1. First term is 1, common ratio is x, 1 upon 1 minus x is what we get. Right? Clear? Is that clear? Am I audible, guys? Am I audible? Check on Facebook. Check on the YouTube. Okay, all right. So we have obtained all of this, and now we can just put in the values and get our answer. So the value of s will now be 1 minus x left में है, so right में ले जाओ, you will get 1 upon 1 minus x plus 5x upon 1 minus x whole square. This is our answer, and don't forget the value of x was 1 by 3. Put 1 by 3 over here and get your answer. The answer will be 21 by 4. Great, cool. ये वाला मस्त था दिमान. Okay. So I hope this thing is clear to everyone. Put 1 by 3 and you'll get the answer. All right. 21 by 4 is the correct answer. Well done, guys. Now going to the next question. Logs aa gaya. So basically I have picked question from all the concepts, and some questions are blend of mix of two concepts. Try to solve this one. Ayush, yeah, there are shortcuts, but those shortcuts will take, a lot of concepts are there, so it will take 15 minutes for that concept, and then only we can apply the shortcut. But yeah, the shortcut is also kind of this only. It's almost similar. Pragya sir must have taught the same way. It's just that he must not have taken x as 1 by 3. He might have taken 1 by 3 only and then multiplied by 3. So that can also be done. It's the same thing. Cool. This question. This one can be a difficult question. I would rate it as difficult. But you should assume these ratios to be equal to x, and there is a very simple reason for that, because that will be a universal approach for all sorts of miscellaneous series, infinite GPs. Assuming x would be a better idea, because that won't confuse you. A, B and C are positive real numbers. What is the value of this? आंसर इन टर्म्स ऑफ नंबर करना है, इन टर्म्स ऑफ लॉग नहीं करना है. और एस तुम्हारा टॉपिक इज लॉजिकल रीजनिंग एंड डेटा इंटरप्रिटेशन. People are getting 126, 103. साइलेंट किलर, नो फेसबुक क्लास नहीं चल रही है. प्रेरणा लाइव पेड क्लास फेसबुक पे चलती है. मल्टीपल आंसर्स हियर आई एम गेटिंग. All right, let's try and solve this question. So here we have log a base 2 multiplied by log bc base 2. So can I write this as log b base 2 plus log c base 2? Is that possible? Product rule. Right? We can do this. Then we have plus log b base 2 multiplied by log c base 2. यहाँ प्लस नहीं कर सकते. ओके, यहाँ पे log bc साथ था तो log b plus log c. यहाँ पे ऐसा नहीं कर सकते. Is that right? And this is equal to 9. It is given in the question already. We got to find the value of this. Let us expand this a bit. So now if I open this bracket, I get log a base 2 multiplied by log b base 2. Similarly, now these two and these two, log a base 2 multiplied by log c base 2, and here we have log b base 2 log c base 2. Do you see something here? Something very beautiful has just happened over here. People who think this is difficult, this has become very beautiful. Look at this, log a log b log a log c log b log c is equal to 9. This has become cyclic, isn't it? This has become cyclic. So to understand this, we can do one thing. We can assume, we can do one thing. We can assume let log a base 2 be equal to x. Why I do such stuff? The reason is simple, because I don't want to confuse myself by writing so many weird expressions which you also won't want to do. So always remember this part. In the last question also I did something. I assumed 1 by 3 to be equal to x for the sake of getting less confused and more accurate. Similarly, because this is too much to write and too confusing at times, I am just assuming log a to be x, log b to be y, and log c to be z. Any problem, anyone? I hope not. So now this expression will become, now the beauty that we are not able to see, now it is very much obvious. Can you see the beauty now? xy plus yz plus zx is equal to 9. Right? सुंदर लग रहा है देखने में? जो लोग डर रहे थे उन्हें कैसा लग रहा है? आर यू फीलिंग हैप्पी नाउ? And once you have seen this, now your life becomes really easy. What we have to find? We have to find x square plus y square plus z square. That is what we have to find over here, right? So I can do one thing. I can just write, I can use a simple identity, and would you mind if I erase this? I'll just erase this. I'm erasing everything. We had xy plus yz plus zx is equal to 9. That is what we had. So let us keep this reserved, and this is what we have to find out. Using the identity x plus y plus z whole square is equal to x square plus y square plus z square, right, plus 2 times xy, yz and zx, right? We can do this. क्या हो गया? xz कहाँ होगा? zx लिखो या xz, बात तो एक ही है. How does it matter? A into b is b into a. Nilesh. All right. So now we have this, and I think that's all. Okay. Well, this is what we have to find. This is what we already know, and this is also something which we already know, don't we? Do we know this or not? We actually know this. How do we know this? Now, if I take back this thing, you know, this was log a base 2 plus log b base 2 plus log c base 2. I'm solving the left hand side, writing left hand side whole square. This can be written as log abc, is that right, base 2, and we have whole square. In the properties of log, power comes here. Is that clear? For the left hand side we can do this. ABC is something which is given in the question already. This is equal to 4096. So 2 log base 2, we have 4096. अच्छा, मुझे बताओ 2 की किस पावर में 4096 आता है? किस में आता है? 2 to the power 12 is equal to 4096. Is that right? Is that right? So here you will get, this will be 12. 2 की power 12 is 4096. You will get 24. 2 into 12 is 24. So left hand side you have obtained as 24, right? Right hand side में ये find करना है. I can write this as, so basically I can write x square plus y square plus z square plus 2 times this whole is equal to 9. So let us write 2 into 9, that is 18. This is equal to 24. Is this clear? So, what is the answer? Cool. A lot of you got 126. What happened, Prerak? अच्छा अब सबका 6 आ गया, पहले 126 आया। मुझे ये बताओ क्या ये स्टेप में कोई इशू है या बिल्कुल सही है? व्हाट इज इट? This is one of the common mistakes which lot of people do. This is wrong. This is actually wrong. How many of you got that? Some people got it, some people did not get it. Oh, it's not wrongly expressed, Solanki. This is a common mistake which people do. Now I want to tell you how this is happening. How this is happening, why is this happening? Look at this very clearly. So here the square is on the sum of the logs. If it was log a square, then it would be equal to 2 log a. But here we had log something plus something in the whole square of it. That is why we cannot do this. So taking it here is a wrong step. And I did it this way because when I was discussing this question with my team, 5 out of 12 people did the same thing, which a lot of students also did. Right? Let us do that. Cool. All right, so we have log ABC square. This is equal to, its gain is 4096. So we'll get 12 square in the left hand side, that is 144. So our answer for this will be equal to x square plus y square plus z square is equal to 144 minus 2 times 9, that is minus 18. The answer is 126. Cool. Confidently गलत क्या है? Let us go to the next question. Okay. Swati, 12 का square 144. It's not visible. Log base 2 है, फिर log base 8 है, then we have x cube minus 12x square plus 48x is equal to log base 3 log base 9 729. This will be an easy question, I believe, and I think all of you will solve it. Okay, some people think it's 0, some think it's 1. All right. Those who got 0, why do you think it should be 0? आदित्य थोड़ा सा और क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करो. मैंने कमेंट अभी देखा. लॉट ऑफ कमेंट्स आर गेटिंग लॉस्ट. आई जस्ट सॉ अ फ्यू कमेंट्स. आदित्य, ट्राई टू सॉल्व मोर क्वेश्चंस. All right. So if you solve this, this is actually very easy. This is the first step. Now let's solve this one. We have log base 2, then log base 8, and then we have x cube minus 12x square plus 48x bracket closed. This is equal to, if you look at this, 9 का cube 729 होता है. So we can write it as log base 3, and this thing, this particular thing will be 9 cube 3 बन जाएगा ये. So now in the right hand side we have log 3 base 3. We have log 3 base 3, and log 3 base 3 is basically equal to 1 only. तो 3 की पावर 1 में 3 आता है. ठीक है. So I can do one thing. I'm writing the left hand side again, but this time as I know this becomes 1. This is 1. अब ये अगर log 2 हटेगा तो 2 की पावर 1 हो जाएगा. That will be 2 only, isn't it? Similarly, if I remove log from here in the next step, 8 will be removed and we'll be having 8 square, it is 64. Is that clear, everyone? You're getting a cubic equation, x cube minus 12x square plus 48x minus 64 is equal to 0. I hope all of you have got this equation or not. You've got this equation? Right? This is the equation. And this is equal to x minus 4 whole cube is equal to, so if you solve this, you will get x is equal to 4 only. There is only one root, so basically all three roots are equal and they converge to one single point, it is 4. So we have only one unique value and the option is B. All right. If I, there is a, I'll tell something. There is a way in which CAT can confuse you, and that way is that they might give you an option which says 4. So when you solve, तो यहाँ पे क्या होता है कि you do it confidently, you do it wrong. Again, that happened. So what happens once you get the पूरी मेहनत करके you get the answer as x is equal to 4, and then if one option says 4, you subconsciously go and mark 4. Has this happened with you in any of the mocks or those who are repeating for CAT? Has this happened earlier? How to cubic equation? I'll come to that. Real log to जब RHS में गया तो क्या हुआ? यहाँ पे RHS में we got log 3 base 3 as 1. तो ये log 2 जब हटेगा तो ये 2 बेस बन जाएगा और ये 1 पार बन जाएगी. जैसे होता है log a base b is equal to n. That means b to the power n is equal to a. This is the definition of log, right? Riya, you got that? All right. Now the thing is, कैसे मालूम पड़ेगा कि x minus 4 ही होगा? चलो इस पे आते हैं. That is a nice question. How do I get to know it will be x minus 4 only? Cool. चलो इसे solve करते हैं. I'll just erase some points. ये हटा देता हूँ मैं. Here I'll show you how to find the roots of a cubic expression like this. And this is actually very simple. So as you know, for the quadratic equations, the sum of the roots was minus b by a, same will be here. So now it is a cubic equation. Let the roots be alpha, beta and gamma. Let the roots be alpha, beta and gamma. Alright, Balakrishnan, I'll give you, I'm telling you one concept, and that will be applicable to all sorts of polynomials, be it 3rd degree, 4th degree or whatever. Okay, so now look at this. So alpha plus beta plus gamma will actually be minus b by a. Then we have sum of the product of the roots taken 2 at a time, alpha beta plus beta gamma plus gamma alpha, that will be equal to c by a. And then we have product of roots alpha beta gamma will be equal to minus d by a. This is the technique over here for a cubic equation like this. Ax cube plus bx square plus cx plus d is equal to, this is the general form, and it has 3 roots, of course, alpha, beta and gamma. This is all about it. Alright, clear? Understood? सोहेल सिंथेटिक डिवीजन क्यों कर रहे हो? उसमें भी तुम्हें एज्यूम करना पड़ेगा ना कि 4 की वैल्यू 1 की वैल्यू, इसे देखो पहले आप. Is that clear? I hope it is clear. So if I try to find alpha plus beta plus gamma, here b is 12 and a is 1, that means the sum of roots that I get over here is how much? Minus of minus 12, that is 12. Alright, I got the sum of roots as 12, and ये थोड़ा देखने में कॉम्प्लेक्स लगता है, तो बेस्ट चॉइस इज टू थिंकिंग अबाउट दिस एंड दिस. सम और प्रोडक्ट निकालना काफ़ी आसान काम है. ये हम कब यूज करते हैं? जस्ट टू वेरीफाई वेदर वट एवर वी हैव फाउंड इज करेक्ट और नॉट. सो अल्फा बीटा गामा, इफ आई ट्राई टू फाइंड आउट, आई गेट minus d by a. So minus of minus 64 is 64. Now look at this. Now anyone who looks at this would easily get, अच्छा अल्फा बीटा गामा 64 है, ये 12 है यार, ये जो वैल्यू है ये 4 का 3 टाइम्स है और ये 4 का क्यूब है. So there is a high possibility that alpha beta gamma both all 3 are equal to 4. And just to check whether it is 4 or not, just put it here and verify the result. All right, is that clear? पीयूष log 2 log 8 log 2 plus 8 नहीं होगा, वो log 2 into 8 होता है. Clear? Is that clear, guys? I'm repeating. I'll find sum of roots and product of roots, and looking at this I'm getting 4, but just to be sure whether 4 is correct or not, I'll try to put 4 in the second part, and my answer 4 into 4 16 plus 48 आना चाहिए. आ रहा है क्या? बिल्कुल आ रहा है. C by A is 48. That means we have done it correctly. ठीक है. अशमन यार मैंने 1 सेकंड में कैसे निकाला, अब ये बड़ा अजीब सवाल है. यू आर माई स्टूडेंट इन iQuanta. सी द थिंग इज आई हैव बीन डूइंग मैथमेटिक्स माई होल लाइफ. मैं जिंदगी भर करता रहता हूँ, देख मुझे मालूम पड़ता था क्या होना चाहिए. ऑफ कोर्स निकाला मैंने ऐसे ही था, बट ये चीज़ मैंने बहुत फास्ट की. मतलब ये सारी चीज़ें मन में कर सकता हूँ बिकॉज आई हैव बीन डूइंग इट फॉर क्वाइट अ लॉन्ग टाइम नाउ. दैट इज द रीज़न. इट्स नॉट दैट क्योंकि जादू आता है मेरे को. इट डजंट. आई एम फास्ट बिकॉज आई हैव लर्नड इट मोर. बस इतना सही है. गॉट इट? मनीष 4 अब चेक करने की जरूरत ही नहीं है ना. चेक कर लो, चाहो तो यहाँ डाल के देख लो आप. अगर 4 यहाँ आ गया बस इसमें आपने सेकंड में चेक कर लोगे, यू विल गेट द आंसर. देखो 4 निकाला फर्स्ट एंड थर्ड से, सेकंड में चेक किया, इट्स वेरीफाइड, दैट्स ओके, नथिंग एल्स. ओके, नाउ गोइंग टू द नेक्स्ट. अभी तो हम बहुत ही कंसेप्ट नॉर्मल कर रहे हैं, बेसिक टू मॉडरेट. एडवांस पे मैं गया ही नहीं अभी तक, विच विल डू व्हेन प्रॉपर कोर्स स्टार्ट्स. लेट अस डू दिस क्वेश्चन. सम ऑफ 5th and 8th terms of an AP is 27. whereas the sum of its 8th and 11th terms is 37. What is the sum of 4th and 12th terms of the progression? I think this will be solved by everyone. Any nth term, like any term Tn, is actually equal to a plus n minus 1 times d, where a is the first term. देखो मैं सारे concepts बता भी रहा हूँ, ऐसा नहीं कि मैं assume नहीं कर रहा कि that you know all the concepts. n is the number of terms, all the formula, and you know the meaning of the formula. D is common difference, so don't have to worry about whether you know it or not. Now you know it. Tn, अब क्या है कि यहाँ बोला गया है 5th and 8th, so T5 is given as what? Sum दिया हुआ है. So T5 plus T8 is given as 27. I can write it as a plus 4d plus a plus 7d is equal to 27, and this will be equal to 2a plus 11d, that is 27. Let this be equation number 1. I hope all of you have done it the same way. Sum of 8th and 11th terms. 8th मतलब क्या हो जाएगा? So T8 plus T11 is equal to how much? 37. Right? Is that right? Okay. So T8 is a plus 7d and T11 is a plus 10d, and this is equal to 37. If you solve it, you get 2a plus 17d is 37. Let this be equation number 2. And now I know that all of you know how to solve these two equations simultaneously. 2a and 2a will be cancelled if you subtract 1 from 2, and so subtracting 1 from 2, 2a gets cancelled. 17 minus 7 is 6d, is 37 minus 27 is 10. So d is equal to 5 by 3. Putting the value of d, you get the value of a, and I know rest you can do it yourself. To find out sum of 4th and 12th terms, basically you have to find out a plus 3d plus a plus 11d. You have to find out 2a plus 14d is what you have to find out. So you got the value of d, get the value of a and put it there and get the answer. Clear? It's 32. Cool. Next question. अब ये सवाल में आपको एक्चुअली मज़ा आएगा, एंड आई थिंक यू विल एंजॉय दिस क्वेश्चन. दिस इज such a nice question. Utkarsh, yeah, that can be done. Add both and divide by 2. Very good, Utkarsh. Perfect, because the sum was 28. Look at this. Utkarsh said this is 11, this is 17, 2a. दोनों को add कर दो, you'll get 4a plus 28, divide by 2. Cool. Well done, Utkarsh. Now the next one. This question is gonna be difficult. How many points with integer coordinates lie inside the triangle whose vertices are 0, 2, minus 5, minus 3 and 5, comma, minus 3? Okay, anybody How would you approach this question? What's coming to your mind? Anything coming to your mind? Graphs? दिमाग में आ रहे हैं graphs? Okay, 0,2 -5 -3 5 -3. पता है ये जो चीज़ है ना, इसी से हमें इंस्पिरेशन मिली, मुझे इंस्पिरेशन मिली कि ग्राफ बना लेना चाहिए. कितने लोग को इंस्पिरेशन ऐसी मिल गई? -3 देख के इंस्पिरेशन मिल जानी चाहिए. -3 स्ट्रेट लाइन मिल जाएगी यार. -5 5 इक्वली डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड है. सो बेसिकली ओके, इफ आई राइट दिस एज -1 -2 -3, यहाँ ले लेते हैं -3, एंड this is let's say 5, and this is let's say -5, and 0,2 this will be 2. ऐसे कुछ है. So 5, -3 1 point, 5, -3 -5, -3 5, -3 another point, and 0,2 another point. I'll just draw the triangle. Okay, this is the triangle. Once we have drawn the triangle, we can get the answer clearly. Okay, count the number of integral points over here. एक 1 पे आएगा, ये पॉइंट 1 होगा, यहाँ पे लाइन जोड़ देता हूँ मैं 1. ये 0 का है, then we have -1, then we have -2, and 3 is already there, isn't it? Let us count this. I want to show you something really cool in this question. This question has got a lot of cool quotient. मैंने 0 देख लिया है. There's something very cool about this figure. What is that cool about this figure? The cool part is that the figure is symmetrical, isn't it? The figure has got a proper symmetry, and symmetry is something I really like. सिमेट्री जितना इसका एक्सपेंस राइट हैंड साइड में है उतना ही लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में भी है. राइट? यस और नो? इज दैट राइट? आई एम रिपीटिंग. वॉट एवर द एक्सपेंस इज इन द राइट हैंड साइड in the positive x is the same in the negative x or the left hand side. Is that true? Do you get this point? Yes or no? All right. ठीक है, चलो अब एक काम करते हैं. So I am marking the points with red ink. I'll just use the red ink over here. This is point number 1. 0,2 तो है ही है. This is point number 1. Now we just have to be sure whether this point is integral or not. If this is integral, तो ये integral तो पक्का हो ही जाएगा. Do you get it? And I'll just use another ink, another color. I'm saying if this red one, if this red is an integral side, integral point, then of course green will also be an integral point. क्योंकि जो इस तरफ है वही इस तरफ भी है. Do you get this? Is this understandable? लेफ्ट का चेक करेंगे, राइट अपने आप निकल जाएगा. Yes or no? Yes. So this point is 0,2 and this point is -5, -3. Before going on further, before you cheat code which someone just said, we need to be sure whether this point is integral. अगर ये इंटीग्रल बन गया तो हमारा काम, हमारी लाइफ काफ़ी आसान हो जाएगी. तो how to do that? For that we'll have to create an equation of this line. ये line है ना? This is a line which of course would be having an equation, a linear equation, right? So let us do that. Now I'll just want to tell you what is the formula for creating an equation of the line joining 2 points. Y minus y1 is equal to y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1 multiplied by y minus y1. This is how we calculate the equation of a line. So here I am assuming x1 to be 0 and y1 to be 2 and x1, x2 to be minus 5 and y2 to be minus 3. Alright, just put the values y minus y1. So I'll get y minus 2 is equal to y2 minus y1. That means minus 3 minus 2 is minus 5 and x2 minus x1 will be minus 5 minus 0 is again minus 5. Wow. Such a beauty over here. And y minus y1, that is, I'm so sorry, this is x minus x1, this is x minus x1, just rectify that, x minus x1, okay, y तो यहाँ ही चुका है, so x minus x1, x1 is 0, is that clear? Is that clear? Cool. Now if I saw ये तो 1 बन गया, कितना अच्छा हो गया ना हमारे साथ. So y minus x is equal to 2. This is the equation. This is the equation basically. All right. Clear? y माइनस एक्स माइनस 2 जो भी इस पे पॉइंट्स आएंगे वो सारे के सारे पॉइंट्स इंटीग्रल चीज़ों को फॉलो करेंगे. तो पहला पॉइंट था 2,0 जो ये वाला पॉइंट है y एंड x. देन वील हैव 3,1 4,2. दिस इज हाउ वी कैन हैव 3. ऐसा हो सकता है पर ऊपर जा नहीं रहा, ये नीचे जा रहा है ना, y इज डिक्रीजिंग. सो दिस इज ऑल्सो वे. अदर इज 2,0 ऑलरेडी है, वी कैन गो डाउनवर्ड्स. So this will become 1, minus 1. Is that right? Then this will become, is that right? 1, minus 1. अगर y 1 हुआ तो x minus 1 हो जाएगा. If y is 0, x will be minus 2. Isn't it? 0, minus 2 जो कि ये वाला पॉइंट है. मतलब है मालूम पड़ चुका है कि ये पॉइंट इंटीग्रल है, ये भी इंटीग्रल है. ऑल पॉइंट्स आर इंटीग्रल. Is that clear? Is this clear? Yeah, Lakshit, this kind of question comes in CAT. Is this clear? Now, अभी मैं जो बता रहा हूँ आपको पूरा डिटेल बता रहा हूँ. I'm telling you an entire concept. After this, you know, we'll solve this question just in a snap of a finger. अभी फिलहाल concept समझ लो आप. So now our life has become really easy. So now what do we know? समझना इस बात को. I'll again change the ink. I'll change to blue color. Here we have 1 point. Here we have 1, 2 and this 3 points. Right? Then we'll be having 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 points. Basically what I want to say that once we have established that this is going to be integral, point देखने की ज़रूरत भी नहीं है, मार्क करने की ज़रूरत भी नहीं है. अब समझना कैसे हो रहा है. दिस इज व्हाट इज हैपनिंग. हियर वी हैव 1, 1, 2, 3. Automatically because 1 is increasing on both the sides, so growth of 2 is happening. Is that right? 1, 3, 5 यहाँ आया तो यहाँ पे automatically we'll get 7. Understood? Is that understood? हाँ, इन साइड वाले होंगे उनको बाद में माइनस कर देंगे. जो ऊपर है, जो पेरिफेरी में, उनको माइनस कर सकते हैं. या आई मीन टू से वेट, ऐसे कर लो. 1, देन वी हैव 3, देन वी हैव 5, देन वी हैव 7. इट्स लाइक एन AP. सो द मेन कॉन्सेप्ट इज दैट व्हाटएवर इज इंक्रीजिंग ऑन द लेफ्ट हैंड साइड, same will increase on the right hand side. So here we have 1 point, then we have 3 points, then we'll be having 5 points, then we'll be having 7 points. So basically 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 7, 16 is the answer. Is that right? It's like Pascal's triangle, exactly. That's right. Now, like we'll take 1 minute to solve this question, but because I was explaining you the entire concept, that is why, we took some time. Now, let us do it in 10 seconds. Correct? 10 seconds में. Ready for that? couple chances है एग्जाम के, तुम डरो मत, बस मेरी बात अभी ध्यान से सुनो. Do not get worried at all. Let us understand how to solve this quickly. This was all about the concepts. Okay, don't get scared. My aim is not to make you scared. My aim is to make you realize that how complex concepts can be thought over beautifully. Let's do that. Okay, so to make this triangle, once again I just made the triangle, and as I said that we have to form the equation of the line. I'll just mark the points. 0, 2 we had -5, -3, and we had 5, -3. That is what we had. तुम्हें मजा आ जाए पता है अभी? You will say, wow, why is this something which you were not able to see? लाइन को एक पल को भूल जाते हैं. Tell me something. What is the difference between these two ordinates? 0 और 2 में क्या डिफरेंस है? What is the difference? It's 2. Jyotiraditya, now you will get everything. Difference is 2. Here also it is 2, isn't it? And as we can see over here, y is greater than x, so I can say here the value of y minus x is 2, and it is same over here. That means this is the equation of the line. Khatam ho gayi baat. That's it. Question clear. हो गया? Solved. Now what I want to say, that people think that it is highly mathematical question, but no, it looks difficult, but it is not. And that is the best part about algebra. And that is what I always want to, make you realize that algebra is something which is purely observational. Right? So now I can just draw the lines. 2 पे है 1, 0, 3 तक जाएगा. -1, -2 and -3 is what we have. So we have 1 point, 3 points, 5 points, and then we have 7 points like this, and the answer is 16. रक्षित इक्वेशन के बाद तो हमें मालूम पड़ गया ना कि इंटीग्रल पॉइंट्स हैं. तो अगर मैं मैश बनाऊं, देखो मैं यहाँ पे ना एक जाल बनाता हूँ. जाल कैसे? तो जाल बन गया जाल. सेम वे इन पॉइंट्स से आई एम क्रिएटिंग अ मैश. जहां ये पॉइंट्स मिल रहे हैं, दोज आर द इंटीग्रल कोऑर्डिनेट्स. इज दैट क्लियर? द प्लेसेस एट विच दीज पॉइंट्स आर intersecting each other, those are the places where we have integer coordinates. Cool enough? Three yellow lines were उसके लिए थे ना. This was y is 2, here y is equal to 1, here y was equal to -1, here y is equal to -2. ठीक है ना? 3 lines कौन से दिए थे? यहाँ y 2 है, यहाँ 1 है, ये तो y0 x एक्सिस है, y-1 y-2. Got it? Anshit did this way only. Very good, Anshit. Perfect. ठीक है. So this is the last question for today. We covered one question each from all the topics of algebra, and through this you get to know that the kind of things, the kind of insights that we do with any kind of question. You must have got enough insights. Somehow I feel that if I was in your place on the other side of the screen, then I would have come with kind of very low expectations. I would have thought, okay, we'll do some questions to go through some concepts, but I would have never thought or expected that we will go in the in-depth mind of the question maker, the person who makes a question, what he thinks. That is something which I, as a student, would not expect it from this session, and I hope if you also have got something really which is worth taking back home. Go through the session again. In case you find any problem, just drop a comment, and I'll get in touch. Rishabh, shortcut था ना ये तो, y-x जो 2 आ गया. वरदान, concept marking a point is basically intersection of the lines. शिवांगी ग्राफ पेपर नहीं मिलेगा. यहाँ भी मैंने ग्राफ पेपर यूज थोड़ी ना किया. All right. Good night, everyone. Really enjoy this. When we do all the graphs and all this imagination, that's the real love. Probably I'll take a geometry session very soon. In geometry, there's a lot of imagination going on, and that will be mind-blowing, of course. CAT के एग्जाम में लूज शीट्स मिलती हैं मुझे, राइट. ये दोनों का सेम नहीं है, तो जो मैंने फॉर्मूला बताया था ना, y minus y1 is equal to that formula, you can create the equation of the line. Yeah, well then that's it for today. Thanks everyone. It was nice interacting with you guys. Bye bye. Good night. Take care. We'll meet again. Not tomorrow. Day after we'll be meeting again, because day after I'll be taking VARC, and we'll be discussing, like a lot of people have a lot of questions, what are tones, what are figures of speech. We'll be going on to that part, the grammatical part, vocab part of the any reading comprehension, and we'll be solving one RC, one para jumble, one odd one out, one para summary, and a lot of tones and critical reasoning based questions. Day after tomorrow. Recording available हो जाएगी. As soon as the session is over, you can find it in the recording. रौनक, हाँ मैं इस बार कैट दे रहा हूँ. मैंने लास्ट टाइम नहीं दिया था, 2014 में दिया था, 15, 18 and 19. So this year even I am giving cat. Yashwantini, yeah, full concepts will be covered. All right, guys, I'm ending the stream. बाय बाय, टेक केयर। रिया, मेरे कैट देने से कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ेगा परसेंटाइल अगर, क्योंकि मैं तो ज्वाइन करूँगा ही ना। आई एम इफ़ आई गो एंड ज्वाइन द कॉलेज देन फ़र्क पड़ेगा, अदरवाइज नहीं पड़ेगा। ओके, बाय बाय।